Okay, good afternoon. It's another episode of Rails Minute. Hi, everyone. I'm Dan Bostrom, Rails Member Engagement Manager, and I'm here with Deirdre Brennan, Rails Executive Director. Again, this is our efforts to bring you short weekly videos where you can learn more about what is happening with Rails, especially during shelter in place. So Deirdre, thanks for joining me. Summer's almost here. Are you doing any planting or gardening, anything to kind of spruce up the house?
I love summer. I can't wait for it to come. But right now, I'm dealing with, as I'm sure many of our colleagues are, with a wet basement. So that's what I'm focused on. I wish I could be outside more because my lilacs are blooming, and it's a beautiful time of year, but not currently with the weather that it's not conducive to being outside. I don't think so.
Maybe,
So yes, planting, but that's sort of taken precedence.
maybe next week.
Yes.
All right, so right now we're doing a reopening and delivery survey of our members. Can you talk a little bit about why we're doing that and what you hope will come out of it?
Sure. Yes. So the deadline is, I believe, Thursday, later this week. And we are doing the survey because we're trying to find out what our member libraries are thinking about delivery when they might want it, and other plans related to delivery, curbside, etc. So we already have 300 responses, over 300 responses, so that's really great. And some preliminary findings. 78% of the libraries are saying that they're going to tie reopening to the governor's plan. A lot of plans for curbside, peaking with the dates between June 1 and June 15th. Some libraries are saying only local card holders, 40% are saying that. 32% will allow all patrons. Obviously, that doesn't add up to 100%. So, there's an unknown going on there. 54% are going to quarantine items for 7 days. More than 50% have enough gloves and masks. 33% have sneeze guards. And 47% will be ready for regular delivery in June. So those are just a few of the highlights. We'll obviously provide much more in-depth analysis and information, but really appreciate hearing from the libraries because it will enable us to plan. We want to be ready when the libraries are ready, and we will be.
Yeah, that's a great opportunity to collect all that data.
Yes.
So can you tell me what else is happening around Rails that you want people to know about? What other plans are happening out there?
Well, I think that I want to remind people to go and look on the website at our virtual webinars and meetings and things that are going on. I know that a lot of people are taking advantage of them, but if people would go to the Rails events page, there's just a slew of them right now, especially. Last week we had the trustee webinar that had 700 people that attended. So I would encourage, trustees and non-trustees to listen. It was a great conversation about all the issues to consider. I understand that I missed a webinar with Miguel Figueroa from ALA Center for the Future of Libraries on Friday. So I'm looking forward to being able to see the recording. I think sometime this week. It's Trend Spotting in the Time of COVID, something like that title. Obviously focused on long-range thinking, long-range planning. Miguel is always a very engaging speaker, really thoughtful, always learn from him, so I highly recommend that. A lot of things related to PPE use for library staff, virtual services, virtual programming on the fly, information about curbside. So there's just so much in the archive that I really, really urge people to go and take a look because there's something for everyone on every issue.
Yeah, great, thank you.
Oh, and I should mention your water cooler that you have.
That's right. If you ever want to come drop in and hang out with us on Thursday at 3 o'clock, you are welcome to.
Yes.
Thank you. So the final question we always ask is a member question. And so if you do have a question, you can either leave a comment on our YouTube or Facebook pages, or you can email them to communications@railslibraries.info. Okay, so the question comes from Tracy this week, and she asks, the shelter-in-place order has been particularly difficult for school libraries, especially those who don't already have significant online resources. Do you think it's a good idea for school libraries to start moving more of their services online? And if so, what tools might be available from the system?
Yes, great question. Thank you, Tracy. I do think it's a good idea to move services and resources online. I think it's a good idea for every type of library. It just allows you to reach people 24/7 pretty much, all year round. I think it doesn't have to be an either or. Have print or physical use as well as online use. As far as some of the things that we have, if you look on our e-read and e-resources page, we have a special section there, Rails for Schools. We have a special BiblioBoard page, and BiblioBoard is great for schools because it's never any holds, simultaneous multiple user environment. We have classic novels for classroom use for older kids. We have an interactive ebook collection that was put together with the Chicago Children's Museum, Spanish sources. So all kinds of things for schools that I think everybody should be taking advantage of.
Great, thank you. Okay, so that will do it for us this week, Rails Minute. Thank you so much, Deirdre, and we will see you next week.
Yes, and happy Memorial Day, everyone.
Happy Memorial Day.